The folder hit the marble tile with a slap so sharp you could almost feel it echo in your own bones. Papers, tax returns, income slips, even a college acceptance letter skittered across the shiny floor like trash caught in a draft. "We don't serve your kind here," barked Preston Reed, loud enough to make a bank of security cameras twitch. And just like that, the whole place froze. Not a sound, but the air conditioning humming in the Ocean Blue Credit Union. A woman near the deposit counter covered her mouth, eyes wide. Someone in line stopped scrolling and started recording, phone angled just enough to catch the mess and the face of the man who made it. Naomi Cross didn't flinch, though. Didn't pick up the papers, didn't fluster. All she did was lift her head slow, steady and meet Preston's glare, jaw set so tight you could see the anger pressed into her skin. She said, calmly as you please, "I'd like to make a call." That was it. The words that would go viral. The kind that land in headlines and compliance webinars for years to come. 30 minutes earlier, that same bank had smelled like lemon polish and soft contempt. Naomi had walked in oatmeal cardigan, black pants, shoes you buy for $20, and hope lasts the season, nothing flashy. No jewelry, no fancy purse, just a plain document folder pressed to her chest. "Hi," she'd said, trying for cheerful. "I was told walk-ins are fine." The receptionist, red bob, white, probably 45, never even glanced up from her screen. "And what do you need?" Naomi smiled. "I'm applying for a loan. My son's college tuition. I have everything right here." The woman's smile twitched like a muscle spasm. "Someone will be with you when they're available." So Naomi sat. 5 others waited with hair-on couple in golf polos, a businesswoman with her iPad, a Patagonia vest reading the Wall Street Journal, and a black nurse clutching a crumpled check. 10 minutes, 15, 22 ticked by. The white couple got called. The Patagonia guy, too. Naomi just sat, folder unopened. At minute 22, she stood and asked the teller young, nervous, badge said Tyler about the loan. "Everything's on the website," he muttered. "You could just apply online." Naomi said she'd rather speak to someone, and after a tight smile, Tyler called in. "Got a walk-in. Says she has her docs." 3 minutes later, a woman in yoga pants breezed in and got ushered straight into a consultation room. Naomi stayed waiting. At minute 35, Preston Reed finally appeared. The guy looked like he made 95 grand, but told people it was 6 figures. The suit was just a bit too tight. The smile never reached his eyes. "I understand you're here about a loan," he said. No warmth at all. He motioned her to a side, table, not an office, not a desk, just a low conversation station with a fake plant. "Do you have proof of income?" She nodded, opened her folder, tax returns, pay stubs, savings, ID, credit score, everything. He stopped her. "Do you have a cosigner?" Naomi frowned. Wasn't told that was necessary. Preston shrugged. "For education loans, we prefer them to be backed." She let the insult land, then said, "I'm applying for less than 10% of my liquid assets." That caught him off guard. He flipped through the papers like he was searching for an excuse to say no. "You'll need to wait 7 to 10 business days for a decision," he said finally. Naomi raised an eyebrow. "The man before me left with his checkbook after 20 minutes. Preston's face pinched. "Each case is unique," Naomi replied. "Seems like the requirements change depending on who's asking." The smile vanished. "Look, if you don't like how we do business, take it elsewhere." He shoved the folder at her, and when she didn't move, he slammed it to the floor. "We don't serve your kind here." Louder now. Phone shot up. Naomi knelt, gathered her 6-figure tax return, stood, and voice level said, "I'd like to make a call." Sometimes, power means not raising your voice. The ride back to D.C. was quiet. Naomi's assistant had called a black Tesla, but Naomi just watched the road. When she got home, penthouse, top floor, walnut and glass, a single photo on the desk of her mother the day she got her master, she logged into the one system only she and one other person could access. The root-level framework of Fin Ethics, the national banking ethics platform. She opened Ocean Blue's file. Their public rating was compliant, but in the whisper reports, the secret flagging system, there were 3 entries in 18 months. Advised me to try another credit union after seeing my zip code. Delayed account set up while white colleagues were approved. Said my loan was ambitious for a hairstylist. I'm a CPA. Naomi confirmed the pattern, typed a justification, observed in-person bias, denial of service, humiliation despite full documentation, consistent with systemic exclusion, and hovered over the Trigger Protocol 0 button. She hesitated not because she doubted, but because she remembered her mother, denied a loan in 1979 with perfect credit and no explanation. Then she clicked. Protocol 0 engaged. Within minutes, Ocean Blue's internal rating dropped to revoked. ESG investment pools froze. Partner insurance was flagged. Notification went to oversight boards, auditors, insurance, and the emergency desk. The system flashed one last prompt. Initiate Founders Review Committee for policy publication. Naomi clicked yes. The Melanie Standard was born. The next morning, headlines hit. Ethics platform freezes $2.1 billion in funding after Protocol 0. Ocean Blue under fire for racial bias. Preston Reed saw the red banner on his phone. Immediate action required. Inside Ocean Blue, panic erupted, files blocked, compliance keys revoked, staff muttering in the break room. By noon, Naomi's office received a formal request from Ocean Blue for a meeting. Her reply, bring your pens. In the Fin Ethics boardroom, Naomi stood silent at the head. Bryson Walsh, the branch manager, looked shattered. Preston was pale. Their lawyer sweated through his suit. Naomi slid documents across the table. Admission of violation, public apology, immediate resignation. You can refuse, she told them quietly, but then your institution's rating falls even further and your names go on page one of every whistleblower filing. 20 minutes later, signatures inked the page. But Naomi wasn't after revenge. She was after consequence. And for the first time, there was one. Within days, Ocean Blue was gutted. 3 major banks swept into review, insurance gone, investment pools locked. The public dashboard went live, real-time scores for all to see. In congressional hearings, Naomi explained, it's not a punishment. It's an alignment test. Fall below the minimum and you lose access, not just to money, but to credibility. Her testimony went viral. Proportion has finally entered the building, she said, and people felt it. Banks scrambled, CEOs resigned, influencers lit up TikTok. She didn't yell. She just rewired the rules. All across America, black business owners, Ladings homeowners, and veterans posted about finally getting approved. And in Ocean Blue's old headquarters, retraining sessions ran daily, led by former executives now learning the ethics playbook they once ignored. But Naomi's biggest victory? The Dignity Ledger National Protocol, signed into law, mandating public ethics scores, anti-bias boards, dignity reviews, and reparative training. 52 banks adjusted overnight. Executives who once dismissed her now sat in public classrooms, learning the system she built. And Naomi? She spent her days not on stages, but in offices, schools, parks, reading letters from grandmothers, students, and former tellers, each one a reminder. This wasn't about noise, but about permanence. The day she returned to the Ocean Blue branch, hoodie and jeans, nobody stopped her at the door. She made a deposit to the community fund, same amount she'd once frozen. Above the entrance, new words were etched. We serve with equity, or we don't serve at all. Naomi stepped into the sunlight, whispering, full circle, and forward. So, let me ask what stayed with you? Was it Naomi's silence, her power, or seeing a whole system finally forced to face its own shadow? Tell us in the comments, and let us know where you're watching from. We read every story, because here, dignity is the new policy.